As we discussed in the previous video, once we get back the address of the device to which we'll be sending the contact, we launch a SendContactTask to perform that sending operation in the background. And again, any type of input-output in Android should be done in background threads rather than in the GUI thread to make sure that the GUI remains responsive. So here we have our nested private class SendContactTask that extends async task, and the async task is going to be receiving a string array representing the parameters to the task, and you can see that the doInBackground method receives a variable length string array argument. And what we're going to do is take the only element of that array, which is the address of the device to which we'd like to connect, and we're going to use that down here in lines 256 and 257 to obtain a Bluetooth device object that represents the device that we'll be sending the contact to. And the way we do that is via the Bluetooth adapter. We call its getRemoteDevice method, passing in the string representing that remote device's address as an argument. And that gives us back the corresponding Bluetooth device object, which we then use down here in our try block to make a connection to the device. Now, the first thing we need to do is look up the address book app's UUID on the remote device. So here we have the device object, the Bluetooth device object that represents the remote device, and we're calling its method createRFCommSocket to service record along with or passing with it the UUID of the address book app. Now what this is going to do is connect to the remote device's SDP server to do a lookup of this unique ID. If the unique ID is registered on the remote device in the SDP server, then we will get back a Bluetooth socket object representing the communication channel that we can use to communicate with that remote device. We then call the connect method on that Bluetooth socket object to establish the connection. Now, once we have an established connection, it's just basic networking principles that we use. In this case, since the ViewContact activity is only going to be sending information, we obtain just the output stream from the Bluetooth socket object. However, if we were expecting to get data back as well, we would also obtain the input stream with a call to the socket's getInputStream method. The next thing we do at lines 276 through 281 is create and populate the JSON object representing the contact. And as you can see here, we grab the data out of all of our text views and we put key value pairs representing that data into the JSON object. Then at line 284, we write to the output stream the result of this highlighted chained method call, where we first take the JSON object called contact, convert it to a string representation, which serializes all of the key value pairs into JavaScript object notation format. Then we get the bytes of that string because the output stream's write method receives an array of bytes, and we write that data out over the network connection to the other device. Then we flush the output stream to make sure that data gets sent. And then finally, we display a toast indicating that we had sent the contact. Now, along the way, if we get any I/O exceptions or JSON exceptions, we display an appropriate toast and log the error using the log class's E function, static E function. And then in the finally block, we make sure that we close the Bluetooth socket, which also closes the corresponding streams.